crush an instant nerdle. Okay, we got division today, so it's going to be a long one. Equal sign could go in either of these two spots too, so this is like one of the hardest ones you can possibly get. We could either it's going to be triple digit divided by a double digit equals a single digit, or divided by a single digit equals a double digit. It could go either way. I don't really know what's worth trying first. Let's just say this is a double digit first. Yeah, so this one's going to take me a little longer probably because this is pretty difficult. So I'll just explain how the game works here. So Instant Nerdle, they give you purple stuff and green stuff. Anything that's green has to go in the same place, and everything else needs to be moved around. So we need to use these exact characters that are here. So everything gets used once, and we have to make an equation that works. So I was saying I knew that this is going to be, the division sign has to go here, because if you think about what's going to happen here, we're going to have two things divided by each other. So I need the biggest number to be out front, because if you're dividing, there's no way, like if I make a smaller number out front divided by a bigger number, then it's going to be a fraction, and you're not going to have a fraction as your answer. So I need the biggest number out front, and as it turns out, it has to be a triple digit number, because the way the characters lay out, you're either going to be dividing a triple digit number by a double digit number or a triple digit number by a single digit number, and we could have either situation right now. So I'm going to put the equal sign here to sort of make that format, right? I got a double digit number here and a single digit number here. So the equal sign could go in either of these places. I'm going to start testing equals a single digit number. And now I sort of do multiplication in reverse, because the division and multiplication are related in that way, and I think it's easier to think about multiplication than it is about division. So what I'm going to do is just try random numbers in this spot, in the last spot. I'm going to go left to right just to be systematic about it. So if I put a 3 here, then I can think about numbers that I can put. So this is definitely going to be a 9, because that's our only green digit, so that's a 9. And then what number can go here? Well, when I'm multiplying in reverse, I can think about different numbers going here, and I'm just going to go left to right again. I can't put a 3 in this spot because I have a 3 here. So next number up is an 8. So if I put an 8 here, 3 times 8 is 24. So this number, if this was going to work, would have to be a 4. That's how multiplication works, right? If you multiply the ones digits, then whatever they multiply to, the ones digit of the answer is going to be the ones digit of whatever this is. That's just how multiplication works out. So this would have to be a 4, because 3 times 8 is 24. And it can't be a 4 because we don't have a 4 as an option, so I know that 8 doesn't work. I'm going to continue testing 3 and just trying different numbers in this spot until I come up with one that works. Next up is 7. If I put a 7 here, 3 times 7 is 21, so that would make this digit a 1, which doesn't work. So again, we're done with that. Try a 2 next. 3 times 2 is 6. And we do have a 6, so this does work. So now I go to the next thing, which is to actually multiply these two values and see if it works out. So 3 times 92 would have to equal this number. That's the way. So division, now that this is laid out, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. This number divided by this number equals this number. You can actually reverse that and sort of turn this into a multiplication sign and this into an equal sign, because division and multiplication work in reverse like that. So 3 times 92. 3 times 90 is 270. So I can already tell that this isn't going to work because we only have 1, 2, and this can't be in the 200s. But just to finish that off, 3 times 90 is 270, and then 2 times 3 is 6. You can add those two values. So 270 plus 6 is 276, which is not going to work out. It almost does, but unfortunately we don't have another 2 to use. We used our 2 here, so we can't put a 2 here. So after all that, I found out that 2 doesn't work there because the rest of the values don't work. So now I've tried every number up to the 2. We can't use the 9 here. We can't use the 6 here. So I'm done with 3 in this spot, and I can move on to the 8, which is our next number, moving left to right to go to this spot. So I tried the 3. Now I'm trying the 8. 8 times, so again, I'm just going to go left to right. 3 times 8 didn't work before because we don't have a 4, so I can't put a 3 here. Can't put an 8 because I already used the 8. If I use a 7, 7 times 8 is 56, so that would put a 6 here. And now I want to try 97 times 8, which I can tell isn't going to work. So for this one, I'm just rounding 97 up to 100. 100 times 8 is 800. And 97 is a little bit less than 100. So it's going to be, our answer is going to be a little bit less than 800, which means it's going to be in the 700s. We're using our 7 here, so we can't use a 7 here. So 97 times 8 would actually be 800 minus 3 times 8, because 97 is 3 less than 100. So 3 times 8 is 24, so it would be 24 less than 800, which is 776. So, but that doesn't work because it can't be in the 700s. So just estimating, I could come up with that pretty quickly. So now I've tried. So 3 didn't work, 8 doesn't work, 7 doesn't work, 2. Okay, so 2 works again because we put a 6 here, because 2 times 8 is 16. So we could put a 6 here. So now let's try 92 times 8. Again, it's going to be in the 700s, which is good this time because we're not using the 7 here. This could very well be the answer. So let's do this fully out. So 90 times 8, yeah, here it is. So 90 times 8 is 720. 9 times 8 is 72. Just add a 0 on that. 90 times 8 is 720, and then 2 times 8 is 16. So 720 plus 16 is 736, and we got ourselves an answer. That's an instant nerdle for you, dude. There it is. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.